just a little worried because obviously Winstrike is now changing up. It's good for them because they lost the last one. They have to, switch it up. But HellRaisers are sticking to their own thing, not really changing out much. They still have kind of individualistic type heroes that they can kill, but not really emphasis on teamfight at all. So
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Mareska has arrived.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Brewmaster!
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Riki.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. team ban.
Spectre.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Warlock.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Choose your hero. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And a deciding match in this best of 3 and a broodmother. Lacoste, do you believe in the brood?
I just have to say that was a good impression of me. I like memes. That's pretty much it, man. I like memes and I like Dota. Broodmother last pick, yeah, I think it's a decent Broodmother game, not the best one I've seen. Broodmother, you can't really stop her from farming, but I've seen so many games of Broodmother, you know, going 5-0, dying 2 times, and suddenly the game just feels completely over.
Yeah, every step of the way you've got to get it right as the brood.
Yeah. It's very hard for me. I mean, Broodmother is type of a hero that, at least for me, is a bit harder to get a good read on. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I don't necessarily know when it's like super good Broodmother game. I'm no Broodmother expert. I was back in the days. That's my shame, but You know, there are better players right now, the Broodmother, and we're gonna have a disconnect. This thing happens in every single game, so let me just check the items. If they're gonna run Lena mid, yeah, they're not gonna swap things around. Possibility was, if it was a different hero than Lena, to put Brewmaster on mid. He's also a hero that does okay-ish against the Broodmother, like you don't really feel threatened that Broodmother is gonna kill you.
So I guess a couple of things that Winstrike have going for them with the Broodmother and kind of centered around that draft as the last pick. They've got 4 heroes that can go and cause chaos, start team fights, battle, and even if they, trade even or lose a couple of team fights, the threat of that Broodmother is always going to be there, pushing towers and really getting objectives. And I'm kind of with you with the Broodmother in it. We can kind of think, okay, laning wise, it's a good lane for the Brood. She can always cut the creep wave, farm jungle, and keep accelerating. But I feel with when Aghanim Scepter got added to Brood, with all the webs and the ability to get across the map so quickly, she has much more capability mid-game to actually join team fights as well.
After seeing Broodmother being played with Aghanim Scepter, it feels like the hero's unplayable during the mid-game if you don't have Ags on the hero.
It's like you desperately need it. And it'll be interesting to see, what kind of decisions we'll be taking here. Is it going to be Diffusal Blade with a BKB? If the Aghanim Scepter comes out as a second or the third item. Right now, it looks like Soul Ring Diffusal Blade is going to be his course of action. As it looks like both sides ready to get underway here for the final match of this best of 3. Winstrike up against HellRaisers, as it is all tied up 1 apiece in the group stage here for ESL 1 Germany. And we'll take a look at Rebel the Brood in that mid lane. Plenty of mangoes, lots of ability to regen in the webs, but also spam out some spiderlings. We'll be facing off against the Xani Lina, as No Fear Warlock wandering around behind her, should be headed up towards top lane. Lil on the Clockwork, so we're seeing him shift away from the Lina, which has been playing a lot of late. Phonic, the Brewmaster, looks like he's going to be laning up with him. And Brew Clockwork, not a conventional dual lane. Do you think that's going to be able to put pressure on the Riki?
Riki can always just jump out. I don't feel they get the kill. You also have a snap fire if she gets to level 2. There's a cookie to jump outside of the cog, so necessarily not really a good Clockwork game.
30 seconds.
And it's different build from Clockwork. You see what he went for. He understands, I'm not gonna go for battery assault. I'm just gonna get the rocket flare level 1, scout things out, possibly finish off a range creep since Brewmaster is a melee hero.
Yeah, very interesting. And a couple of early Dire Observer wards watching out in towards that mid lane and the bottom rune spot as well. Let's see what information that can gather HellRaisers here as the bounty runes do spawn up. No real contest from either side. Spectrum Warlock are just sitting back and hiding by their tier 1, so 2 for 2 bounties.
Contract complete.
There is aggressive Charles and Riki down bottom. Again, left alone for the first few seconds, as Winstrike put a couple of heroes top, bring the Snapfire down for Ducalis to babysit him. And up top, DK Fogus, the Mars, with Yamich on that Dark Willow, and one of the most classic lanes, the Warlock Spectre. Permanent sustain from the Shadow Word.
At this go. Back to Dota 1 days, Warlock is just going to use Shadow Word on you, but he's going to start with Fatal Bonds, which is a much better choice. So you push out the lane, possibly give you opportunity to pull the side camp and constant harassment on 2 of the heroes. It's much better. One of the reasons why he started with the Ring of Bassi, so Spectre can also use a Spectral Dagger, keep harassing the heroes. Will bring some extra regen, but as you mentioned, it's all about the sustain in this lane.
Yeah, trading that regen much more effective. I have to see if the spears and that Cursed Crown can get a couple of Bramble Mazes going. The aggression should kick off once they hit level 2 or 3, but for now it'll be pretty calm up there. Bottom lane, we've already seen a lot of trading. Lil with the Rocket Flare, like you said, just spamming it out, securing range creeps. But Phonic has taken a lot of damage just from Scatter Blast and the right click and blinks from aggressive Charles Riki. Only a couple of tangos on him as well, no salve there. And a big creep wave for Riki to secure up. Oh, there's the salve. Gets delivered on the courier as I'm saying he doesn't have one. It comes out to him.
Riki jumped in aggressively. I guess that's why he's called Aggressive Child.
Bring up to his name. Mid lane. Broodmother. Dropping pretty low. Xani landing some pretty good spells there. Very even in farm though, as Broodmother will be able to come back into the jungle. Keep accelerating with those neutral creeps. Soul Ring is already done as well with level 2 Spiderlings. And that's where things will start to get a little more difficult when the creep wave starts to get cut.
Yeah, with this 1-1-1 build, it gives Lina a lot of attack speed and a lot of deep push potential. So I don't think Broodmother can play as aggressively as she would like to against the different types of heroes. But, you know, it's Lina mid. It's not necessarily a last pick Lina. They kind of flex it, so I'm okay with that instead of just wasting your last pick on Lina.
Oh, bottom lane, they're jumping in. The cookie into the tricks of the trade, and Lil will be the first blood. We're not waiting 10 minutes this time around. We're back into the world of Dota 2 as Funnick looks for the trade back, but Ducalis just tanky enough as a salve, and they're actually going to turn around onto Funnick. Scatterblast there to slow him down on the retreat. Aggressive Child is going to get one final punch and a double kill to start your safe lane carry. A beautiful kickoff here for Winstrike.
Yeah, the start does not get better for Ricky, so he's sitting at 1,000 gold. Might consider just getting straight up power treads in the next minute because he's farming nicely. Also, Ricky has very high HP regen, 5.6 per second.
Oh, he sure does. Yeah, and he's still got a branch to Tango if he wants to increase that even further. It really just comes down to Clockwork Brewmaster up against two heroes that can escape from cogs. It is a difficult lane for HellRaisers to actually apply pressure into. Spectre, how's she doing? 15-0. Seems like it's become a little more difficult now, especially when they're chaining their stuns up onto Nyx. That was a good spear into Bramble Maze. But Yamich actually going for the Shadow Realm, not opting to get a Cursed Crown there, as they don't take the Spectre down. And here comes the sustain from Warlock.
A very high plane. Spectre gets harassed, Warlock uses level 2 Shadow Word. Dota does not get better than this.
I almost didn't detect the sarcasm in your voice. I was like, wait, there's a high plane? God damn it. Sometimes you get me at the cost. Well, Shadow Realm there from the Dark Willow. Just going to pump a bit of damage into Nyx, but yeah, I think we can take our eyes off that for a second and start thinking and pondering about the mid lane where, you know, 39-11, and we always talk about Brood being able to farm jungle, but Lina with 3 points in Dragon Slave can do it easily herself.
And just a small camp on the side, use level 3 Dragon Slave to clear it out. Just buying boots, I see Mule being queued up on Lina, pretty standard stuff.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Top lane.
Trying to go on Spectre again, but no fear will be the target instead. Shadow Word level 2 on the Spectre leaves the Warlock with nothing to save his own life with. And they keep the aggression going bottom as well. On to Funnick they blink, but Aggressive Child has been slowed down just enough. And Ducalis wasn't quite there with the cookie. They can go back in now. Boundary Assault, try to battle with Aggressive Child, pops out, and that's it. Clockwork down, Funnick gets cookied up, and Aggressive Child blinks for another kill. 3-0-1 on this Ricky, and the tips keep flowing.
They need to bring some extra regen to the bottom lane. Everyone is very low right now, but once Ricky gets to level 6, like, I don't think they can lane anymore. They're losing this lane pretty hard. Broodmaster's level 3, Clockwork level 3, 2 points in Battery Assault. He doesn't even get the cogs because we talked about it. There's Winstrike, there is Cookie.
Every hero
out of the cogs. Yeah, everyone pretty much can get out.
Like Mars can spear him away, Shadow Realm from the Dark Willow, Broodmother just webs over the top as we do see the move in towards Kasani, dodges the Light Strike array with the spiders, the TP just about successful back into Fountain. Very close. It's a dangerous sign for the Lina though. One rotation could be the end of her life. As a double damage rune for Broodmother is going to accelerate this Rabel hero even further, as a 400 net worth lead is starting to make a bit of a bridge between the Brood and the Lina.
Spectre's just going straight into Blade Belt. Nice spear back to the tower.
Does take Nyx down to about half HP. Caught up in the Bramble Maze. Yamich has level 2 Shadow Realm, but again, it's the Shadow Word that comes out on top.
So yeah, Blade Mail. When you go for that item, Darko doesn't get to play the game can't really use Bedlam. I mean, I just played a game like a couple of days ago, Dark Willow against
Radiant's middle
Spectre.
tower is
You
under
almost
attack.
kill yourself with just the Spectre having Dispersion maxed out. Imagine that with a Blade Mill.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, the return damage you get from it.
Oh, don't mind.
Lina now relegated to jungling. It is level 8. At bottom lane, they play on to Ducalis, in fact. Snapfire tries to cookie back towards the tower and turns to battle. No spells available. Can pop the one for another Scatter Blast here. There are also 2 Blinks ready for Aggressive Child. That's not the way you want to play it, though.
Blast.
Not ideal.
Ricky getting closer to that level 6. Strike use aggressively and second one defensively.
And then top lane, they've got the Arena of Blood going. Spectre Spear up against the side of the Colosseum and great control onto Nyx, while No Fear has the Shadow Word himself this time.
Yeah, every single time you kill Spectre with Mars, it's a good feeling, you know, just getting the levels on Mars. Considering good early game. Yeah, that was intentional here. So yeah, I know what you're gonna add.
What was I going to add? Well, we'll come back in a second, because Ricky is now dominating, taking down Null and trading his +5 for the Clockwork. But is that how you pronounce that hero in Croatia? It sounded Italian, Spectre. You must protect the Spectre. Curse Crown.
A bit Russian to me.
Do they have the spear? They do. And a lot of damage from the Shadow Realm's about to pop out. The Shadow Word, the 11-1 charges. Yeah, Nyx pops them. Secures his safety while daggering forward. Faithful Bond are there, spreading damage across the 2 top heroes. But a rotation, a TP was
Lina needs to
cancelled.
be careful mid lane. That's a Diffusal Blade reveal.
Oh, it sure is. The Spiderling's going to work. Broodmother, the hero, trying to dodge the Light Strike array, but now it's down. Do we have more webs? Can we go deeper? There's no mana for Brood, so Kasani gets away from danger and clears up a fair number of Spiderlings.
Yeah, webs out. Didn't plant one behind the tier 1 tower to play more aggressively. Ricky's having an extremely good time on the bottom lane. Like, compared to other heroes, of course, Broodmother's gonna have more. Lena's gonna have more because she's farming Spiderlings as well. But
Dire's middle
4
tower
heroes,
is under attack.
4 kills. That means a lot of gold, and the Diffusal Blade timing is gonna be really good in Ricky.
Yeah, kind of interesting that Mars is ahead of Ricky in net worth. He's getting some really good farm up top. You mentioned the Diffusal Blade timing, and I think I've always had worries about Ricky as a position 1 especially, because we see him with, you know, treads, double Wraithband, and then a Blade of Alacrity and a Rubber Magi, and you're thinking, oh, 20 minutes in, where's his Diffusal Blade? But it's time, especially picking up some bounty runes and chasing Funnick, who's having a perfect start. What was he called in Dota 1? Was he the Shadow Assassin? What was Ricky's
I'm trying
other
to
name?
remember. I actually don't know. I'm
I think
gonna
it was, because we
Google
had
it.
Phantom Assassin, we had Templar Assassin, and he was the SA, the Shadow Assassin. My memory fails me. Chat let us
Stealth
know in about 5
Assassin.
minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes
Dire's
on it.
middle tower has
Well,
fallen.
there's the tier 1. 10 minutes in with a couple of waves. Broodmother, easy as you like. Now into the jungle. Mars with an arty top finds Nyx, Spectre down. Jumping forward, they're trying to catch out this Warlock. TP not successful thanks to the Bramble Maze and a Cursed Crown and Aggressive Child. 6-0. Ricky really is racing towards victory already.
Ricky's having such a great time. You mentioned Ricky's roaming around trying to farm their Diffusal Blade, but he's steeping to a lane and getting all the last hits, which is very important if you're making a rotation with a carry or a mid laner, just try to secure him that last hit. Rotation actually pays off for him. One thing I dislike about the Brewmaster is, like, if you're not using the ulti, if they play around it, if your first split is not successful, like, you're not having a game. This is something that the Brewmaster is very bad at, like just utilizing that primal split.
Yeah, usually we see that first, you know, he hits level 6 or level 7 and he's TPing to a lane, maybe even smoked up to try and find that play. But so far, Funnick has just been sitting back and trying to get Themselves some levels and some farm as they do swap their lanes around. Spectre moves bottom, Mars with the Snapfire now on tier 1. And HellRaisers feel they need to tip the scales a little bit here. They've got Chaotic Offering, they've got level 3 Fatal Bonds. This is potentially a time to fight if Clockwork can find that hookshot angle onto a target. It really is the worst game for Clockwork, isn't it? You can't trap anyone in cogs. There's spiders that are going to block his hookshot.
It's not just that, it's they are having 5 abilities available. A bit of lag with the Spectre Haunt. Let's see the kisses.
Well, they disengage, they get the Brood out. That's hookshot down. A smoke comes to nothing for HellRaisers. A couple of ultis there from the Radiant team as they do try to terrorize. And then kiss with that Dark Willow and Snapfire. Ricky
Dire's top tower
poking and prodding a little bit here as Funnick tanky enough to withstand that little bit of aggression.
Well, Winstrike should just try to dodge team fights. Like, try that Brewmaster doesn't use his ulti. Same goes for Warlock. Like, their team fight is super strong. Instead, try to get the pickoffs. Once Ricky gets the Diffusal Blade with the Broodmother, she also has the Diffusal, working towards the BKB. Mars farming nicely, very close to his Blink Dagger. So they're gonna have good ways of starting a team fight, getting a pickoff, and then fighting 5 versus 4 Clockwork Sin. Cookie, not available.
Yeah, they know the Cookie's down. Ducalis used it aggressively with the arena coming out and the golem drop. Ducalis with DK Focus. They look reasonably healthy. Bedlam goes back out to the Clockwork. It's a little bit shredded by the Dark Willow, and not a single Radiant hero has fallen. Finally, the Grandma found by the Spectre. In a 1-for-1 trade, and Yamich, he's dead. Lena will find the Dark Willow with those long-range attacks.
Radiant
Something going well for HellRaisers at long last. But then you look at the rest of the map and you're thinking, well, there's Brood and Ricky farming and pushing. As Ricky's actually keeping toe-to-toe with his Brewmaster. 2 1 charges on Brew, 1 on Aggressive Child, but no reveal for Funnick.
Clockwork just brought us Dust and the Sentry Ward. There's the scan, he understands, yeah, that scan is for me, they're trying to kill me. Full Diffusal Blade on Ricky. He goes back to the fountain, heals up, comes back to a fight. They should use this long cooldowns on HellRaisers every single time. There's no split, no rock, no haunt. And also they're not relying on any cooldown types. The longest cooldown that they have, that they need, is Arena of Blood.
Oh, the spear misses. That should have been an attempt on Spectre. 3 heroes were down there. And HellRaisers actually forced to TP a couple down. As up towards top, Dust from Lil, but Aggressive Child with that Diffusal Blade. Oh, tried the hookshot escape, but he's just too strong. Into the Dire jungle though, they're trying being run into here by Winstrike. Cookie away, the Mars looking to escape, and Yamish dodging that little boulder toss from the Brew Master Earth Panda.
Dire's top tower.
And they've dodged it. They've done exactly as you said. They get away from the first primal split.
And it's a primal split 15 minutes in, the first time it was used. Man, Brewmaster needs some serious buffs. He's too dependent. Yeah, he really is. He's very dependent on his ulti, and it's too long of a cooldown. 140 seconds, level 1.
And they're looking to find him. Knowing the split is down and his escape mechanisms aren't really available. Cooking in from Ducalis, there's DK Focus. Arena of Blood maybe a little bit too much. Extreme ulti there for
showing the dominance. We got this. We don't need the Arena of Blood for our next pickoff. Spectre farming Radiance. Okay, it's been a while since I saw this type of a build on Spectre.
No, we've seen a lot of like blade mails, mantas, even like diffusal blades. Radiance might be able to secure that late game, but getting to it is going to be the difficult part. And what's up next for Broodmother? BKB's nearly done, and I would expect after Diffusal BKB to go into the Aghanim Scepter as the 3rd item like we were talking about.
Yeah, you need to have more webs so you control enemy jungle much easier, opens up the Roche, you can rotate from lane to lane easily. But with BKB they have like 2 abilities that go through Magic Immunity, Warlock Rock, and a hook shot. Broodmother doesn't really care too much about these 2.
She sure doesn't.
Dire's top tower is under
Mars
attack.
going to go to Yule Scepter next. Great way to dispel off
Radiant's
that fatal
bottom
bombs,
tower
or even
is
just to
under
set
attack.
up onto a hero like Spectre. And it's just a constant maneuvering here of Winstrike as they try to spear up next. But it's this up and down, moving towards top tier 2, pinging back in towards mid. They've left bottom completely open. Someone can come and farm that at their will. But Winstrike just want to make sure that Blink is delayed on this Brewmaster, make sure the Radiance is delayed even further on the Spectre. And we all know how mid laners can suffer if they're
Radiant's
jumped
bottom
on.
tower
That
is
is
under
not
attack.
the answer for your late game. Lina has to have momentum coming into this mid game.
Lina needs to have all stars align when she's played on a mid lane. I might sound like a hater, but I don't remember last time I've seen Lina mid winning a game.
Yeah, we'll need to go back and look for it. It's a difficult hero to keep going. And BKB is going to help out though. Yule's for that aggressive maneuver, BKB, to try and keep you all protected in these team fights, especially against a Riki with that smoke screen. Don't really have any great ways to save anyone either. You can maybe rely on Chaotic Offering to drop and buy a bit of time. And something
what
else you're
is
not a
that?
fan of, I've noticed, Lacoste.
I think we just noticed the same thing. Did you click on Warlock?
Yeah, I clicked on
Yeah,
Warlock.
okay, so Shadow
Go ahead,
level,
go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna leave this to me, Gary. I'm gonna take care of the business. Level 4 Shadow Ward on Warlock. So yeah, if you put 2 points in Upheaval, like you have 1 extra ability that gives you a very good team fight potential, but if you have Shadow Ward level 4, it just gives you more heal. And I have a old saying for Warlock who puts 2 points, more than 2 points in Shadow Ward. 2 points is fine for the laning stage. Sometimes I see professional Warlock players also having 1 point and just skilling the other spells. Like, you might consider playing a different type of a hero, after putting a 4th point in Shadow Ward.
Yeah, you may as well be playing like an Oracle or something, an actual healer.
Radiant's bottom tower
I'm a big fan of, 4 points in Faithful Bombs, 2 in the Shadow Word.
I like 2-2-4. Upheaval is his best ability.
Okie dokie. 84% max slow.
Radiant
Very powerful.
scanning.
And Roshan has opened up here for Winstrike. As HellRaisers don't really feel that they can accomplish anything without these primary items. So an Aegis for who, do you reckon? Is it the Riki or is it the Brood?
I think you give it to Rikimaru.
Radiant
Broodmother is saving SWAT, so I guess they're gonna give it to Broodmother. Broodmother, we've seen it multiple times. She snowballs, dies a couple of times, and her game is over. Also, Riki maybe doesn't feel like he needs to die, so he's adjusting his item build, going for a BKB. Much smarter itemization than what they showed in game number 2.
Oh, absolutely. A changing dynamic here is certainly Winstrike learning from their mistakes.
Dire's top tower is under
As
attack.
Broodmother with Aegis BKB, going to be difficult to kill off once, never mind twice. While Spectre, 1,000 gold away from Relic, still needs a good
Radiant's
3-4
bottom
minutes
tower is under
to keep on
attack.
farming safely. But jumped on.
Dire's top tower is under
DJ Focus there with a blink reveal, and straight onto the Spectre they go. Did she use Haunt to try and escape? Oh, she did.
Nothing's going well for HellRaisers in this game. They're not making any aggressive
Radiant's
moves.
bottom
You
tower
see
is
all the
under
green
attack.
dots on top of the screen. Ultis are not being used. This is not a good sign, Gary.
No, it feels like game 1 all over again, where HellRaisers just can't do anything. They're stuck in mud while Winstrike is sprinting around everywhere, going from kill to kill, tower to tower, lane to lane. Broodmother going to make her home down bot, so she'll have access to the dire triangle as well as these 2 reasonably simple objectives in the tier 1 and tier 2.
Dire's structures are
Lena's still a couple hundred away from her BKB as they find Lil in that dire jungle.
What a bounty!
It's all slipping away from HR. Winstrike are well on their way now to a 2-1 victory in this series. And as the group stage progresses, it gets more and more important to start winning. That magic number, the 3 wins or the 3 losses, lets you stay in or get out.
Yeah, I'm no expert, but winning is better than losing. That's for sure.
That's a really great point, Lacoste, yeah.
Ricky getting closer to his BKB. Broodmother already has hers. 10-second BKB didn't pop it once, working towards that Aghanim Scepter for more webs, which means that they can put more pressure on the map. And I see Yule Scepters being built on the rest of the team. Dark Willow can't easily dispel the Fatal Bonds. Same goes for Mars. This is the build. I think the Zai kind of started this type of an item build, getting a Blink Dagger, then having the Yule Scepter. It's an easier way to save yourself, a cheaper one, and it's also a great setup for Spear of Mars.
And it's really a blow to morale when you've got 4 heroes. I was watching Warlock and Lena move around. They're thinking about going top, but they've got 4 heroes in your base, and Clockwork dies right in front of their very eyes.
What's up with the spells in Dota that like Doom has a Doom? Wow. Ooh, how did you think of that? Or Mars, his ability is called Spear of Mars.
One was called Spear.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they wanted to move away from the Slardar conundrum where everything was bash,
Radiant's
crush,
top tower
sprint.
is under attack.
Like damage.
I know.
What's your favorite spell name, Lacoste?
Spell name? Hook.
Yeah. Just punch hook. Just
Yeah,
hook.
Hook a Pudge.
Do you have the Dragon Claw?
No.
Oh,
I've sold 2.
oh I see.
I mean, it's just a fancy hook. They're much better Pudge cosmetics in the game.
Oh yeah, we've got the little toy Pudge now.
Yep.
Well, BKBs, Ricky, and Broodmother are both at 10-second ones. Wait, does Brood have the full Aghanim Scepter?
That's a full axe, yep.
14,000 net worth. This is looking really bad for HR. Bottom and mid both coming in towards the tier 3s. There's Blink. He's got a TP and level 2 primal split, but the fight is coming to your base. You are going to have to mount a defense at some point. Struggling to contend with the Broodmother down bottom.
I can try to guess what they're talking about right now. Like, guys, we have Spectre, hold on for 40 more minutes. She's gonna get 6 on it, and then we're gonna take a fight.
Sometimes you don't have that option, though.
Yeah. The hardest thing in Dota is sieging tier 3 tower. Like, this is where the game breaks. If you make a mistake, you're giving opportunity to an enemy team to make a comeback. Lena, we talked about that BKB. She has it, but, you know, Ricky still dishes out some sick right-click damage.
Yeah, for anyone who's read Sun Tzu's Art of Dota, if you can't push high ground, your net worth lead is false. You all know the old adage. And Winstrike might still have a few problems breaking up those routes. But they've got full control of every lane, every jungle camp, and 5 dire heroes are wandering around, doing literally nothing behind the tier 3 tower. Waiting and biding their time, a smoke, that's something. They've clicked a button,
Scanning.
they've scanned forward, they know that there are Radiant heroes in the triangle. Who can they find? Who will they see? Dark Willow and Ricky, pretty distant. Mars with about 2,000 HP, he's got Yule and Blink, so could potentially just disengage from this dire side as he jumps forward. Forget disengaging, he's going straight on into the middle of them all. No fear, he'll drop the rock, he's already used up as Mars, who tries to escape from this. No fear, still surviving with a shadow up, but the Broodmother comes in. Sweeps through and kills the Warlock in the back. They found Ducalis. Spectre going to work, next with a double kill. Yamish has fallen, but aggressive child. The Ricky is too powerful. Not only killing off the Spectre, but now the Golem will fall as well. So
they used 4 out of 5 ultis to get 2 kills on supports, and they lost Spectre. Now, Winstrike, they'll just continue farming. Next Roche may respawn in a minute and 30 seconds. If someone leaves the base, now that Broodmother has an axe, there is a kill potential.
Nobody leave the base.
I must have them all.
Lena's still doing a pretty good job keeping her net worth in line, at least, with the rest of Winstrike. But I think you're right, the acceleration will continue as Brewmaster Funnick went to go and pick a couple of bounties.
Come in, my friend.
He will only find death. There's a big green arrow there. Nyx has drawn the line saying, yes, go down middle. Not sure how he plans to execute that idea. Clockwork. Oh, Ricky and Grandma both on his tail, but he has a full staff now.
Dire's middle tower is
Still,
under
the high
attack.
ground defense every single time a creep wave gets close. Veil, plus Fatal Launch, a dagger, but now they're in. They're setting things up. Mars has Arena.
Not quite perfect combo of the Ewes and the Cursed Crown, but the damage from the Bedlam is more than enough. Spectre dead for 50 seconds. They're going to plays out the Dark Willow, but Lina has to BKB defensively just to stand her ground next to the tier 3. And every death of the Spectre is another problem that HellRaisers are going to have to face in the next couple of minutes.
Ricky and Broodmother, they're building the same items. Diffusal, BKB, Broodmother has more farm, so she got the Aghanim Scepter, but both going for the Dispel.
Yeah, both going for that Nullifier, and there it is on Brood. Completed 20 minutes in. Brood only has 20,000 net worth. What for, actually? Let's have a look. 370. That's not too bad. Lina, 310. Oh, impressive, given the state of the game.
I'll make
Roshan.
on the map, like someone should be on the bottom. Maybe I should be at the bottom, try to make something happen, but they have such a great pickoffs with Mars, with Ricky. Broodmother is all over the place. Thing is, they can't really leave their base.
Yeah, Nyx is basically telling his team to go and go a bit of a feed for him. Go on, show on the map, give them a target to go for, let me keep on farming. Ricky's cleared out top, the line was drawn to come and sweep through the triangle again to push it in both mid and bottom lane. As a Dire Courier got scouted there, I believe, and the Spiderlings will munch it up. So Roshan's back, but Winstrike, they're in such a dominant position, they don't need to fall back onto it. They've got their opponents hemmed in the base. All trapped inside this cage.
What if one team came super prepared, like they have food, they have snacks, all the drinks, and they don't let the enemy team leave the base, ever? They're just here, just farming this, not allowing them to actually leave the base.
We've seen a few games like that back when Sniper Troll, the spin to win patch. People unable to actually get high ground even if they're 20,000 net worth ahead.
Coming in.
Here's a Roshan.
HellRaisers, they're trying to contest, but shot is in.
Shot in, and the Spectral Horn. Broodmother chasing forward, focusing on Illusion, and the Terrorizer. Going to send a couple of them packing, but they've got Aggressive Child there and taking down Phonic. So no Primal Split. He'll buy back on the Brewmaster, but two heroes falling so quickly, and Grandma, the only casualty of Winstrike, returning to the fight with a buyback of her own and no fair falls. They're all trying to return here, but Aggressive Child annihilates the Lina, and she cannot. Back into the fight.
He's gonna set things up. Blink Dagger, Eagle Scepter, he's ready to go.
You're absolutely right. Jumping straight onto the Spectre, spear back into the trees and through the Bramble Maze. They've got the Primal Split, but can they save Nyx? Essence Ring there, buying a little bit of space, but with that Nullifier slowing and dispelling, Nyx's Spectre has nowhere to run, and Yamish with the Red Bull will clear up the Spectre, and she's dead for 50 seconds. No fear, buyback into dieback, and it is all a bloodbath. There is no way for HellRaisers to match this aggression. The strength of Winstrike is absolutely disgusting right now.
I don't know if you noticed, but Yamich, he understood I'm dead. I'm gonna use this shovel straight away. The efficiency, gonna drop the healing salve on the floor. Mars is gonna pick it up. It's about the small things. It's about the team play, Gary.
Beautiful stuff. Winstrike executing to perfection. The first lane down 30 minutes.
Middle barracks are under attack.
I can just go back to Roshan. I forgot about that. Roshan's still there. 3,500 HP. Give me the Aegis and the cheese.
Radiant's courier has been
Usually in these kind of situations, Lacoste, I would ask you,
Oh, how do
what
they
does
make a comeback?
yeah. Do you have any idea, anything at all? You know? Power cuts, cataclysm, meteor lands on their opponents' houses.
It is not that type of a game. Knowing how this thing plays, how it's been playing the last month, I'm surprised they're still in the game, to be honest. Like, we saw that GGing out a bit earlier than the other teams in game number 1. One more fight, that's all it's gonna take. They have no comeback mechanics.
One more fight for the Spectre to see if she can actually hold on to this game for HR. Every lane is just perpetually at the dire base. The Broodmother can start cutting, and look at the rainbow of TPs. Go Power Rangers as Winstrike coming in to hunt down Lena. She's TPing home.
Radiant's
Sani
bottom tower is under attack.
just about gets away. Spectre and everyone else can do the same thing. HellRaisers going to count their lucky stars that they do slip and weasel away from it. Spectre with no TP has turned off her radiance, but was still looking stragglers. Oh boy. Craggy coat. Xani gonna send that back to base. MKB is nearly done for Lena. She can be an artillery cannon, launching these big right clicks from range if she can actually hold her ground.
Yeah. She is building MKB at this point.
Dire's top tower
Save for a
is under
buyback,
attack.
you go all in with the items you need damage. You need it right here, right now.
Every little bit helps.
Under attack.
It's your second lane of barracks being marauded by Winstrike heroes, all moving up towards high ground.
Top tower is under attack.
Spectre just going to be sitting back, trying to cut the wave and farm jungle a little bit. But you're not going to stop in its onslaught. Rebels cleared up a couple of buildings already.
I don't know if they noticed, they just lost the
Dire's
bottom
bottom
racks.
barracks are under attack.
Yeah, either they don't notice or they don't think they can do anything about it. I do like this smoke though, yeah. Straight into the base. Warlock's dead. No buyback or hayback. Now 5 versus 4. It's just going to be a slow, steady death with no response from HellRaisers. Another tier 3, another lane of barracks. Mega creeps will be coming soon as the primal split. Funnick seen with a hook shot forward, and this is everyone. And a terrorized landing with the Mars Arena catching out a couple in the middle. They cyclone up there. Broodmother, but Rebel can keep on battling. They get aggressive shot in the back, and this is still reasonably tanky, healthy and fighting. Getting to Carles, but Kasani falls, and they've still got to contend with the Broodmother and Mars. Now Funnick's in trouble. Deeply focused, thinking they can't fight. Spectre looking incredibly strong right now. Getting up in the face of Mars, Cyclone up and can't blink away. Tries to rebuke them, but HellRaisers, they've defended their final lane of barracks. 4 kills in a row. And maybe a sniff of a comeback.
Yeah, Ricky didn't use the cheese there.
Players here.
I mean, they need to get rid of the rest and deal with Spectre a bit later, or they can actually kill her right now that the Broodmother finished the Silver Edge. So with the break mechanic, it's fairly easy, but, you know, just going for different targets. Take out the Warlock before he can get the Fatals off, or Chaotic Offering, and the 5 heroes have ability to just dispel
Radiant's top
Fatal
tower is
Bonds.
under attack.
2 Yule Scepters, 2 BKBs, Snapfire also buying a BKB for herself.
And now a double damage rune up top for
Radiant's
when everyone
top
else
tower has
respawns.
fallen.
25 seconds for the Mars. 1 minute left on Aegis. And like you said, Ricky didn't use the cheese, so he's still got that ready to eat for the next battle. They're TPing forward. Everyone's coming in. They want to try and close this one out. I guess you've got to know that Haunt is down, but Chaotic Offering, Laguna Blade, and Hookshot all there, and 20 seconds for Primal Split.
Radiant's
No one
top
has
tower is
buyback.
under attack.
0 out
true.
of 10 heroes at the moment.
Anyone close? Dark Willow's 170 gold away. Brood is... Yeah, Brood has buyback now. The smoke from Winstrike, they want to really hammer that last nail into the coffin. Spiderlings up to high ground. Broodmother with a DD onto that last lane of barracks. Aegis, 15 seconds. Mars Arena comes in with a DD from Lena. Is able to allow her to stand her ground in the Celtic offering. The rock is dropped. Focusing Clockwork, DK focus with aggressive child. Move in and Nyx is gone. No buyback on Spectre, like you're saying. Nobody has it. So the primary carry and the primary damage dealer from HellRaisers down for 70 seconds with 4 heroes still alive. Winstrike puts them in a really good spot.
She did not even use the haunt. They used Silver Edge Honor to break her. Like, I think at this point you should not be buying Ultimate Orbit. Instead, just save it for buyback, especially on a hero like Spectre. This is gonna be definitely mega creeps for Winstrike. Spectre's gone for 45 seconds. No rock, no primal split, no hook shot. Okay, hook shot available. It's a level 2 hook shot.
They're just waiting for that creep wave to come in with 2 catapults. Perfect timing for Winstrike to take the third lane, sorry. Glyph delays the inevitable. 25 seconds for Spectre. She'll be respawning soon, but an arena of blood there, catching out no fear. Warlock focused down by DK Focus and Ducal as well. The final building does come tumbling down. Now up against Mega Creeps, HellRaisers. They're trying to run away from the Broodmother, who's silver-edged and sprinting into their base. And really no pressure for Winstrike. They can take it as slow and steady as they like. Hook shot, trying to defend up against the Ricky, aggressive child. Oh, that wasn't very slow or steady. Now a Spectral Horn. Nyx wants to try and jump in, dodging out from the LSA. Winstrike do get away, turning that spear. Funnick, but can they kill him off before Primal Split? He's got 5 seconds on the cooldown, so they absolutely can.
Minions are scanning.
Super creeps are approaching, so they're gonna need to be very careful about it. Arena and Kisses dropping on Spectre.
She does get help by the Glimmer Gate and the Shadow Word, and they do catch the Gremlin, who failed for Cookie High Ground. Xani able to zap her down with a Laguna Blade, but still up against those Mega Creeps. HellRaisers a lot on their plate to defend their base and then contend with the Broodmother, the Mars.
HellRaisers won't be able to leave the base. Next Roche may respawn in 40 seconds, so for Winstrike, they don't have to rush anything. They get the third Roche. Cheese Aegis +1. They still have Cheese on Broodmother. Ricky gave her in the previous fight almost a full Abyssal Blade completed on Broodmother, level 26. A lot of damage, a lot of lifesteal coming on from that level 25 talent as well.
Ooh, this'll be fun.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing. Ricky's 2 deaths have been a little bit sloppy. Outside of that, he's had a perfect game though, so I think everything else he's done has made up for it. 13, 2, and 9 on Aggressive Child.
Yeah, he definitely played well. The laning stage, first couple of rotations, getting a good timing on that Diffusal Blade, continue the pressure, getting the kills, and Broodmother just shut down any kind of farm that HellRaisers wanted to have.
And just under a minute on Roshan. Arcane Rune up at the top spot for Fake. And if they thought the map was small enough already, HellRaisers getting closed in on every step of the way.
If we could see the heat map for the last 15 minutes, so we could probably just see all the dots near the Ancient with one trip to the Roche, which they lost and came back.
Just a long train all the way in towards the database. What's Lena up to? Where are you going, Xani? Where are you going?
He needs to find farm. Like, I like the smoke idea, if he can farm anywhere in their jungle, because right now they're not getting too much gold, killing the super creeps. I see
Dire's
Satanic
middle tower is under attack.
and Divine Rapier queued up. Big fan of Divine Rapier in this kind of situations.
Hell yeah. 1,000 gold away from buyback on the Lena. So she's able to pick up a couple of these 40-minute bounty runes. Now, gonna TP back.
Scouted by a courier, instantly TP's back.
So Roshan going to belong to Winstrike. Aegis, Cheese, and Aghanims as HellRaisers
Radiant.
do get out of their base for a little bit, but would you believe it? A double damage rune spawning right outside of Roche as they finish it to go and get a killing blow on HellRaisers here, 40 minutes in.
Aghanims picked up by Snapfire, so we're gonna see some gobble ups and spit out.
Gobble up the Mars, spit him out, get that big arena of blood down. Multiple lanes breaching the ramps here of the Dire base as Clockwork and Brewmaster are down bottom farming away. Nowhere near BKB on Brew. Lotus Orb is pretty close for Lil if he wants to skip out on buyback for it. You can feel the respect though. Winstrike, even with this massive net worth advantage, even with that third Roshan being taken into their hands, they know that Spectre is always going to be a threat at this period.
She also got the tone for herself, wants to get closer
Spit out.
to level 25. Spit out.
The BKB is forced.
They were just getting to the career.
Well, they jump up in now. Nick speared up against the side of the Colosseum. Lotus Orb one. Spectre's down. Buys back immediately as the rock was dropped earlier on. The BKBs are all wearing it now. There's no fear. Very low. The Shadowrun from the Dark Willow. It buys a little bit of space as the Yule's up into the air. And Yamich is going to find no fear but loses life for it. While the Broodmother Rebel facing up against the Spectre. Nyx is all alone and trying to back away to get the rest of the team defended and concaved around her. Winstrike still pushing forward. Slowly moving with a creep spat forward. It stuns up Lena and the Warlock with invisible dam to cover cookies. And a spear to the tower means Rebel can focus onto the Spectre, and then dieback means that she won't be available for 2 minutes. And this is shortly game over as Winstrike stampede into the Dire Fountain and they force the GG.
Yeah, so Winstrike gets the win 2-1. I feel like they could have easily gotten this 2-0 if they got the correct items in game number 2. Something's off with the HellRaisers.